Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's talk show, to this segment which is called COVID-19 Pandemic and Ways to Win the Psychological Battle. So, આપણને બધાને ખબર જ છે કે COVID-19 એક એવી ડિઝીઝ છે જે આપણને ફિઝિકલી તો અફેક્ટ કરી જ રહી છે, પણ મેન્ટલી પણ વધારે એનું ઇફેક્ટ જોવા મળે છે. બટ વી આર however ignorant about it because we are not aware about it. સિલેબસ સ્કૂલમાં તો આપણને સાયન્સમાં બાયોલોજી ભણાવે છે, કેમિસ્ટ્રી ભણાવે, but no one talks about mental health. So for that purpose, we have here with us Dr. Birwa, and she's a revered resource person for today. She's going to talk about the topic. Something about yourself. Yeah, I would have done the honors to introduce you. Can I? Please. Oh, thank you. So, Dr. Birwa Desai Mood, she is a consultant psychiatrist. She's based out of Surat and she works at Mental Health Clinic. Apart from that, she's also associated, correct me if I'm wrong, she's also associated with Nirmal Hospital, Udna Hospital Private Limited, as well as BAPS Hospital. Now, this is about her practice as a doctor. It's not just limited to this. I would have gone for half an hour because she has had national projects as a practicing doctor as well. She did her MBBS from Smeemel College in Surat and her MD as a psychiatrist in Mumbai. After which she went for a senior residency in Kolkata, where she also worked as. What were you working as over there? Okay. So she also worked there at Mental Health Foundation, and apart from this, apart from being a practicing doctor, she's also a very rigorous academician as well as a research person. So she has published as well as presented her research in national and international journals and conferences. I think the last one being in World Congress for Children and Adolescent Mental Health. Apart from that, she is also well versed with Indian classical music and dance. Who would have known that? In short, we are honored and we feel lucky to have you as a resource person to enlighten us upon this topic.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you.
Okay, so what would be your beginning remarks when, as a doctor, you're talking to common public? When we talk about impact of COVID-19 on mental health, what are the basic comments that you would make?
Okay, so at the outset, first of all, before I begin answering your question, I'd like to thank ST Jain International College for having me here. It's really an honor. So as far as your question goes about the impact of this COVID-19 pandemic on mental health, I personally believe there is not a single person on this planet who has not been affected directly or indirectly by this pandemic, and especially as far as mental health is concerned. That is one of my personal beliefs. What exactly is mental health? Now, what is on this entire fuss about mental health? Because everywhere on social media, on different platforms, we see different celebrities, everybody talking about mental health, mental health. You should take care of your mental health. You should maintain your mental health. To begin with, I'd like to ask, what really is mental health? What is our concept of mental health? So if we go by the definition, mental health is the state of well-being, a kind of a happy state of mind in which a person realizes his or her own abilities, is able to work productively and effectively, is able to socialize, is able to contribute his or her own part in the community or society. Right? It is that entire well-being, a state of well-being and a happy state of mind. In addition to that, it's not going to be possible that any person's life is going to be very smooth. There are no obstacles, there are no problems, no troubles, no financial problems, no emotional problems, nothing. And the life goes on very smooth. That is not going to be possible for anybody on this planet. The definition of mental health thus also includes the fact that if there are any stresses of any kind, a person is able to cope up with these routine stresses of life. He is able to cope up with it, he is able to fight it, and he is able to learn from it, and then he is able to move on in life. That entire state, that composite state is what we call as a mentally healthy person, somebody having a sound and healthy mind, right? So now, currently, as far as the COVID-19 pandemic is concerned, just say for an example, I'd like to ask you. So, if you face some problem, if you are facing some problem, if you feel that आज मूड बहुत खराब है, आज दिमाग हटा हुआ है, what do you do? Do you talk to a loved one? Do you go for a movie? Do you go for having a coffee at a cafeteria? Do you go for a stroll? You go out just ऐसे ही घूमना, just on a long drive, whatever. You do any of this, or do you do anything in addition to this?
No, I do these things. I watch a movie, or probably I go on a walk and listen to the music that makes me happy, or maybe talk to my mother, who's very close to me. But yeah, if I'm not able to do that, I really think my capabilities of working would be seriously injured.
Exactly. So these are the ways in which we usually vent out. If we are having a rough day, if we are having some trouble, we are facing some issues, these are the things we do. We vent out. Kind of मन हल्का हो जाता है. One important point that you said was about music, right? There are a lot of people, especially young adults, who used to resort to partying, all those trends and everything. The problem with the pandemic situation currently is that all these means of venting out, they are all shut. You cannot go to a social gathering, you cannot go for a movie, you cannot go to a restaurant, you cannot go to a cafe, you cannot go to watch movies or go to parks or etc. The list is very long. There are so many restrictions. Meaning, we are facing trouble, but there is some inflow of trouble, but there is no outlet. There is no way where we can vent out our troubles, we can relax, we can unwind ourselves. Right? And as such, the magnitude of the problem itself, the COVID-19 pandemic itself is so huge. The impact itself is so magnanimous that relaxation is stopped and stress is constantly incoming. Rather, it is just piling on and on and on. And that is the reason why we are talking so much about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and mental health. And that is why the situation is grim, and that is why we need to take it very seriously. Because if we do not have a healthy mind, we cannot function productively and practically we cannot do anything. Our lives, the quality of life becomes miserable.
I agree. So picking up on what you said about stressful life and not being able to work when there's a lot of stress. तो मेरी friend के साथ discussion हो रहा था yesterday, and we have been having these news where we see that adolescents as well as children, 13-year-old child who committed suicide. So this is the point to discuss, where what kind of people go through these problems. My friend told me कि ये तो बच्चा है ना, आने से खबर पड़े. If that person does not have stress and even then committed suicide. So such a big step. And ये घटनाएं हमारे सामने तब आती है जब वो एक बड़ा स्वरूप ले लेती है. But we do not see the delicacies of reasons. So I want to know from you what section of people કે કયા લોકોને થઈ શકે છે આ problems, and what could be the wide range of reason. Maybe if you can elaborate upon એક બે reason તમે સમજાઈ પણ શકો છો for the teenagers especially.
Right. So I began with that sentence only, that I don't believe that a single person on this planet has not been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, directly or indirectly. But then certainly, as you said, there are a certain high-risk groups. Some people who are at higher risk to have mental health complications. One of them is, as you said, teenagers and young adults. Teenagers especially because, as I was discussing with Madam also, that for teenagers, their entire world revolves around their friends, their peers. Whether at school, whether at junior colleges, whatever they do, पूरा दिन का जो भी टाइम पास होता है पढ़ाई, I don't know कितनी होती होगी, but then whatever happens, it happens with your friends only. Going out, gupshup, constant chatting over the social media groups and everything. So for teenagers, their friends are their everything. Now that environment is currently restricted for them. They are confined to their home spaces, especially in situations where they have siblings. There are troubles with devices also, because even parents are working from home. Other siblings also have online schools and online colleges. So there might be trouble with devices, there might be trouble with internet. And virtually, I mean, practically their entire life is now digital. There is nothing else to do. And teenagers, they constantly need some other new thing to keep on happening. Like you must have noticed in the previous lockdown, what every week there were 2 to 3 new trends on Instagram or Facebook or something. And so that is because teenagers keep on requiring some other new thing. Now they are confined to such an extent that it makes them, the teenagers and younger adults, a vulnerable group for developing mental health complications. Right? That was about the teenagers and younger adults. Apart from that, there are other high-risk groups such as healthcare professionals.
Yeah, I remember you did a paper also on that, which was prolific.
Yeah. So healthcare professionals, they are tired, they are exhausted, they have to, every day, they have to visualize patients struggling for beds, oxygen, medicines, resources, whatnot, and ultimately watching many of them die because of lack of resources or for whatsoever reasons. Long duty hours, having that constant fear of bringing the virus home. What if my family members are affected because of me? Having that feeling of guilt. You know, so managing all those things, healthcare professionals, and similarly there are these frontline warriors. Just yesterday or day before yesterday, the government announced that even the crematorium staff are going to be considered as frontline warriors. So similarly, the sanitation workers, other frontline workers, the corporation workers who are working day and night, even in vaccination as well as the pandemic situation. All of them, the teachers are having a very tough time currently because in a class it is very easy to regulate the students, to talk to them, to realize which one is having trouble, which one is doing good. In a live class it is good, it is easy, it goes on, you might be more experienced than me in that. But then for a virtual class it becomes so difficult for them. And to manage home, kids, the schools, colleges, for the teachers and for the government teachers doing additional duties also, right, for the vaccination, for door-to-door survey and everything. So teachers as well, they are high-risk groups. Parents who are confined to their home spaces, they are also high-risk groups, right? And the older adults who are living with comorbidities, because we have seen that COVID-19 affects badly deleterious effects on those who have some comorbidities like diabetes or hypertension. So they are also affected because they are constantly under that stress that what if something happens to me? Because I am already having this condition, and if super added I get COVID, what is going to happen in that case? Right? So these are some of the high-risk groups which I believe are at higher risk of having mental health complications.
Since you also mentioned frontline warriors, કોલેજમાં જેવા બહુ બધા faculty members છે who have children at home and they come here work. However, it is a 50% attendance now, there's vacation, but previously teachers have children who are alone at home, probably they're 10 years old. So we come towards the end at the ways how to conquer it, but then there are children who are alone, all by themselves. So that is also, I think, when we say કે નાના છોકરાઓને તો કોઈ સ્ટ્રેસ હોય જ નહીં ને, but they have this feeling of trauma of missing parents. They don't have I don't know,
Kids these days, they have, if you ask a kid, they might have forgotten what their school and what their classroom looked like. If you ask them, I was in a conversation with an 11-year-old kid, and I was asking him, who was your class teacher, who was the guy or the girl who used to sit next to you, and he was kind of blank. He was kind of trying to recall what was my classroom like, what was it like playing in the recess with my friends and everything. So that is a big drawback, you know, when the schools are shut. Children, their social development, what we call their behavioral development, their social development, in pediatrics we call it social milestones. That at this age a child learns this, at this age the child learns interacting with people. That entire social development has been affected.
Apart from, we know the reasons at least now, but the thing with mental health issues is, આપણને ફિઝિકલી કોઈ પ્રોબ્લેમ હોય તો આપણને સિમ્ટમ્સ દેખાઈ જાય તરત, COVID-19 ના કે કોઈ પણ ડિઝીઝના. આપણે ખાંસી ખાઈએ છીએ કાં તો તાવ આવે છે, પણ મેન્ટલ હેલ્થ ઇશ્યુઝના સિમ્ટમ્સ એવા હોય છે કે જલ્દી આપણે પકડી નથી શકતા, એટલે બહુ બધી વાર એવું થાય છે કે આપણે ઇગ્નોર પણ કરી દઈએ છીએ. સો હાઉ ટુ રેકોગ્નાઇઝ ધોઝ સિમ્ટમ્સ? કેન યુ એનલાઇટન અસ on that?
So commonly, as I said, there are these high-risk groups. For an example, if we take the high-risk group of healthcare professionals, they are facing mostly fatigue, exhaustion, constant tiredness, inability to get enough sleep. They are not getting enough sleep, so sleep problems. And then because of this, secondarily, they get irritable. During the day, they get irritable. At the smallest of issues, you get irritable. Not just with the healthcare professionals. In general, also, if we talk about the symptoms, the warning signs that our mental health is being affected. So, you feel like you don't want to do anything. I just don't want to do anything. I'm sitting at home, I'm lying on my bed, I'm just scrolling through my phone. WhatsApp, Snapchat, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, repeat. The cycle just keeps on going and the poor thumb gets tired. The scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. You don't feel like doing anything. You feel like I'm not in a good mood for most of the time. Even if something comedy or something fun happens, you get happy for a moment or two, and then again back to square one. Right? Then you feel irritable at the smallest of things. कि ये पानी का बॉटल इधर क्यों रखा है, इधर क्यों नहीं रखा है, and you make a fuss about it. You get so irritable. Like the issue is nothing, but you get so irritable. You feel like banging your head or breaking things or something. Right? Then you suddenly start feeling hopeless. कुछ होने ही नहीं वाला, मेरा कुछ नहीं होने वाला, दुनिया का कुछ नहीं होने वाला, फ्यूचर तो एकदम बर्बाद है. Right? Even the brightness of my screen is brighter than my future. Thoughts like that. You know, then constant tiredness, like that Hansa of Khichdi. मैं तो थक गई भाई साहब.
That is my constant state.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then either you get less sleep, or you get more sleep, or you get no sleep at all. Right? That is a term which has currently been termed as coronasomnia. There is insomnia, which is lack of sleep or decreased sleep. Now there is a term coined by researchers which is coronasomnia, which is specifically the sleep problems associated with COVID-19 pandemic. So these are some of the symptoms, and more than these, there are the mood changes. Kabhi khushi, kabhi gum. You just can't realize that. You feel like there is someone else who is controlling you emotionally. This is not you. This is not how you behave every day. This is not how you behave normally. But then some outbursts happen, and then you think, why did this happen? I never do this. Why did this happen to me? Right? And then if there are people who used to love IPL, unfortunately it is closed right now, but then somebody who used to love cricket, somebody who used to love watching web series, but then उसमें भी कुछ मजा ही नहीं आता. Scam 1992 जितना अच्छा सीरीज है, फिर भी देखने में कुछ मजा ही नहीं आता. Nothing seems to interest you. Right? And a few people also have the problems of crying. I am crying, but I don't know why. आंसू अपने आप ही निकले जा रहे हैं. What do I do? I cannot stop myself from crying. Right? And then having those feelings like धक धक करने लगा. Heartbeats are running like Usain Bolt.
Yeah, just hearing about these cases or reading about them in newspapers,
Yeah, exactly.
it makes my heart race and I cannot even breathe, and then I think maybe I have COVID, but I don't. I just cannot breathe because of the sheer helplessness कि कुछ नहीं कर सकते. आने तो कहीं नहीं થાય, મને થઈ ગયું તો.
Exactly.
That fear always remains.
Anxiety and panic like symptoms.
Yes.
Like if somebody is sitting, they would constantly shake their leg, keep biting their knees.
Yeah.
Those kind of symptoms. Racing of heartbeats, feeling like अभी के अभी मुझे कुछ तो हो जाने वाला है. That kind of fear कि अभी कुछ तो हो जाएगा मुझे. That mild chest pain, inability to breathe properly, shortness of breath, which is not actually the symptom of corona. It's not that kind of breathlessness, but it is inability to take breaths rhythmically. Those are panic and anxiety like symptoms. So such kind of things when happen, you can get to know that these are warning signs that something is happening to me and I should do something about it.
So my question is, what do these symptoms lead up to? तो कया mental disorders છે જે professional healthcare professionals હોય કે workers in general, common people, students, teenagers એમાં prevalent દેખાય છે અત્યારે. તો એ કયા કયા તમે કહેશો અને એમના થોડાક સિમ્ટમ્સ અગર યુ કેન એક્સપ્લેન સો દેટ people who are here watching they may realize that okay I go through this maybe મને કઈ હોઈ શકે તો maybe at least I need help.
Right. So anybody, it's not just healthcare professionals feel this way or these people feel these way. You cannot differentiate among the categories of people, but then the common symptoms what they feel would be mood changes, as I said, and medically if we talk about it we call it depression, anxiety, panic, phobia, anger issues, right, sleep problems. These are the things which we call medically. And if you want to explain in common language, then we can say ગભરામણ થાય છે, છાતીમાં એકદમ આમ ધક 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 જેવું થયા કરે છે, મારા હાથ ધ્રુજે છે, મારું ગળું સુકાય છે, પરસેવો થવા માંડ્યો અચાનક. દેન કોઈ વસ્તુ ગમતી જ નથી, ખાવાનું નથી ગમતું, મને ઘરની બહાર નીકળવાનું નથી ગમતું, મને કોઈ વસ્તુમાં ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ જ નથી પડતો, મને બહુ જ ગુસ્સો આવી જાય છે, કોઈ વાત વગર મને ગુસ્સો આવી જાય છે, મને ઊંઘ જ નથી આવતી રાતના, હું 2-3 વાગ્યા સુધી બસ પડી ગઈ હોઉં, મને ઊંઘ જ નથી આવતી, ઊંઘી જ નથી શકતી. Those kind of symptoms. So we call it, as I said, depression, anxiety, panic, phobia, insomnia, coronasomnia.
Sorry. So when does a person exactly know okay if I'm going through these symptoms તો કેવી ઇન્ટેન્સિટી હોવી જોઈએ જ્યારે એમને ખબર પડે કે I need some extra help or external help, maybe from a parent or a friend or maybe in extreme cases even therapist, because friends cannot always be helpful I think.
Yeah.
So what can parents do, and sorry to interrupt you, what can parents do primarily as a measure અને પછી કદાચ એક્સ્ટ્રીમ હોય તો ક્યારે થેરાપિસ્ટની જરૂર પડી શકે છે?
So that's an interesting question actually. So I talked about the symptoms, matlab what can a person feel, what all things, what all warning signs you should watch for. Apart from that, as you said that when you don't feel good, when you feel that you are not in a good mood and you call a friend, you call your mother whom you are very close to, and then you feel better. But then if these routine measures, if they don't seem to help you, if you feel that in spite of trying a lot, in spite of going for a walk, starting yoga, meditation, doing all good things, doing all textbook things to improve your well-being, still if nothing seems to help you, these kind of problems persist for more than a week at least, that is the point you should realize that there is something is wrong, dal mein kuch to gadbad hai gaya, right, and you should seek help.
Okay, so since we were talking about this, these children, how they're not able to remember कि कैसा था स्कूल, कશું યાદ નથી ક્લાસરૂમ કેવો હતો. So how do you think has it been for maybe your patients even, how difficult was it to move and adjust into new normal, and अगर वापस old normal आ गया तो कैसे adjust करेंगे? जैसे मेरे साथ काफ़ी होता है कि मैं कोई मूवी देखती हूँ and I realize why these people are so crowded, why have they crowded around each other, and then I realize yeah this movie was shot back in 2016. तो मुझे अनकंफर्टेबल फील होने लगता है जब भी बहुत सारा क्राउड देखती हूँ या कोई बहुत ही पास आ जाए. So how to cope up with the again old normal if it comes back?
Right, see, this was actually one point which I was going to refer to, that even I myself have felt that when I watch movies or web series, I feel, I mean, so much of a crowd, so many people coming together and nobody is wearing a mask, what is going to happen? I worry about them. It's a virtual scenario, but still I tend to worry about them. Right, so about adjusting to the new normal and coming back to the old normal, I personally believe that જેટલું difficult it was to get into the new normal, it is going to be that difficult to come back to the old normal, because even if you see some people who are vaccinated, those who have taken 2 doses of vaccine, even they are afraid to go out. You go out to a public place, you touch a table and then you quickly use a sanitizer. So I don't know if coronavirus is going to go or not, But then this germophobia, I mean, touching a surface and quickly washing your hands, touching something, shaking hands with someone and quickly washing your hands or using a sanitizer. This is the constant fear now. This has taken a deep seat inside people's minds. That is called post-traumatic stress. I'm not talking about post-traumatic stress disorder, which is PTSD, which is a different thing. But then there is this post-traumatic stress which is going to stay even after COVID goes away. Right, so adjusting to the old normal is going to be as difficult as it was coming into the new normal. While we came into the new normal, we saw so many good things also. I mean, we saw the Sheila Ki Javani use cleaning her burtan also. We saw Katrina Kaif washing her utensils. There were a lot of new things which we adjusted to, spending more time with family. Everything got online. I mean, people whom you never met with, you could meet them online, you could socialize with people. But then, after more than a year, even these digital things are now tiring. What these was too digital? Shopping, this, that, meeting people, meetings, office meetings, schools, colleges, everything is now online. Whatever you need to go to a device. So, the human connection which we used to have before the pandemic, that was somewhere lost, and now we are kind of used to not having that human connection. We are connected more to our devices. So now when these things get better, it is going to get difficult. You go out and meet new and new people. It is going to get difficult. I mean, मतलब जब मैं किसी से मिलती थी मैं कैसे मिलती थी? How do we meet people? मतलब sometimes people have these kind of questions also. People who have been working from home since a very long time now. If you go to in-person meetings, it becomes difficult. How do I react? How do I greet the person? Right? So there are a lot of such kind of things, and that's what I said. Adjusting to the new normal was difficult, and coming back to the old normal is also going to be difficult. And the exact impact on the mental health because of these adjustments, that is going to be evident only after a few months. It would not come very immediately, but it would come after a few months.
Thank you for such a nice elaboration. Picking on one particular thing that you talked about, कि हम आजकल सोशल मीडिया पे इतना ज़्यादा उस पे ही हमारा अटेंशन काफ़ी होता है, because of which I feel like I'm constantly jumping from WhatsApp to Instagram to Facebook, and that has caused a restlessness of kind in many people around me also. I see हम 5 लोग घर में बैठे होते हैं, everyone has their own mobile phone, और मोबाइल फोन में ये क्या होता है कि हम वीडियोस देखते हैं, काफ़ी व्हाट्सएप पे भी आता है कि हाँ कोविड-19 तो कुछ भी नहीं है, सिर्फ तुम पॉजिटिव रहो तो तुम अच्छे हो जाओगे. इज दैट ट्रू कि पॉजिटिव रहने से ज़्यादा रिकवरी आती है? एंड इफ यू नेगेटिव, यू आर ससेप्टेबल टू द सिम्टम्स.
I think I can better explain this with the help of an example. The hospital where we work, we had an old lady, 85-year-old lady, Dadi. So that Dadi was admitted to the ICU. She was on BiPAP. BiPAP is somewhat like a ventilator, we call it BiPAP. She was on BiPAP. She needed high flow oxygen. She needed a lot of oxygen. And one of our doctors, when he visited for rounds, and I think the mask was removed for giving her water or some medicine or something. And that Dadi, very merrily, very cheerfully, she said, "Tu chinta nahi kar dikra, apna ladi laisu." She was 85-year-old, she was critical, she was in the ICU, but she had that strong frame of mind. She had that positivity. Whatever happens, she didn't even understand how critical she is. But then it was that fighting spirit within her. So what I mean to say is that it is not like a positive mind can cure all your medical illnesses. Illnesses might not be cured. But then that is what Munna Bhai MBBS taught us. That is what Munna Bhai kept on trying. I mean, he tried to keep people, all the patients, in a happy frame of mind. He used to motivate them. He used to keep them positive. And unfortunately, Zahir had a medical condition which could not be cured. But then most of the other patients, that is what he tried to do. So yes, positive frame of mind does affect the overall health.
So all these videos that I was talking about, they also constantly go on about how to stay positive, but they are never empathetic enough. मतलब वो लोग elaborate नहीं करते कि ये symptoms हमें हो रहे हैं या ये disease है. I think this is a good platform where we can point out to the technical, the medical terms कि ये disorders teenagers में हो रहे हैं आजकल, and maybe if you could elaborate on those symptoms कि ये तो prevalent है ही teenagers में, and it's not just you, people are going through it, it is a thing, एक कुछ है जो सबको हो सकता है.
Yeah, so as I said, there are so many factors. The entire life is kind of virtual now, and that is more for teenagers. Right? हम लोग, we have our offices to go. We are now permitted also to go to offices and things. Other people, adults are allowed to go out, but then teenagers are strictly confined within their home spaces. They are bored. They are frustrated. They are exhausted. And this is kind of happening with almost all of the teenagers. I think PUBG was banned and then it was restarted. I don't know the current status of PUBG or what is the latest game right now with the teenagers. But they are also bored of those games also. They are addicted to those kind of games for a while, and after that, even that addiction is lost. One of their major concern is that हमारी college life, हमारी जो best life है, tuition classes की life है, school की life, that is getting wasted. I mean, have you watched that web series UPSC Aspirants? Yeah, so there is a dialogue which SK says, आप पीछे मुड़ के देखोगे जिंदगी के 2 साल खत्म, कहाँ गायब हो गए पता नहीं चला. This is one of the major concerns of the teenagers and younger adults, which is creating a very stressful environment for them. And the symptoms, as I said, they have already been elaborated. I have discussed the symptoms in details. What is important is that we realize that we have something going on, and I am trying, but still I am not able to get out of it. Right? That is the time you start communicating, either with your closest friend, your family member, you communicate with them. They also have to accept that something is really going wrong. Otherwise, as you said, those reels and Facebook short videos and YouTube shorts and everything, they all tell you that दौर है गुजर जाएगा, ये भी वक्त है गुजर जाएगा, it is going to get better, stay positive and everything, you know. What you said was one kind of empathy is missing. And one major hurdle to realizing that we are having some problem and communicating it out is the stigma associated with mental illnesses, which is very real. It is very severe and it is very real. So even if they communicate to their parents, they would be reluctant to consult a mental health professional, saying that our chokro ki gaando thodi chhe. That is exactly the language people use. I'm sorry about it, but that's exactly the language people use. He is not crazy. Why do we need to visit a mental health professional? But then battling that stigma and then accepting that it is also an illness like anything else, like COVID, like diabetes, like tuberculosis. This is also an illness. There is one famous psychiatrist in Mumbai, Dr. Harish Shetty sir. He always calls it that it is a fracture of the mind. Just like you have a fracture of your bones and you go to an orthopedic doctor, you get treated, you get plaster, you get operated or whatnot, you get treated. Just like that, it is a fracture of the mind. You have to heal that, you have to do something for that.
Okay, so coming to the healing part, what are the ways that in these times where we have lockdowns, we have developed space issues because of lockdown and missing out on our quote unquote life. So કેવી રીતે આપણે લડી શકીએ છે આ જે mental psychological battle છે એની સામે કેવી રીતે લડવું? What are the ways, please?
Yeah, so in any case, focusing on the positive aspects is better than counting your problems. Counting your blessings is always better than counting your problems. So I'm glad that you brought about the healing part also. That is also equally important. So what can we do to reduce the impact on mental health of this COVID-19 pandemic? That can be done at multiple levels. To begin with, at personal level, at our individual self level. What can we do? So as a student, they constantly keep on feeling पढ़ाई का मन ही नहीं होता है तो क्या करें? We don't feel like studying, क्या करें? मतलब We know that we have to study. Our exams are going to come up. Maybe आज नहीं तो कल. मतलब there might be some students who might be happy also कि last year भी exam के time कोरोना आया, इस साल भी exam के time कोरोना बढ़ गया. They must be thanking corona like anything. But then they know they have to study, but they constantly ask their parents and teachers कि मन ही नहीं हो रहा है, मुझे book touch करने का मन नहीं हो रहा, क्या करें? So for students, what they can do is take a break of 2 or 3 days in which you are not supposed to even see your books. Do anything else or don't do anything at all. Don't touch your books. But after those 2 or 3 days, you have to step up. Make a schedule, just like you have timetables in schools and colleges. Make a schedule. Get up at this time, whatever time is comfortable. It's not like the early bird catches the worm. If you're comfortable at getting up 9 a.m., 10 a.m., do that. That's not a problem. But then set up a schedule. Get up at a specified time. Complete your routine activities. Allot a time for your studies. The 10 to 1 is going to be my time for study. 1 to 3 p.m. is when I'm going to, have lunch or talk to people or scroll on my phone. Then in the evening, I'm going to go for a walk with my pet or I'm going to spend time with my sibling. And again, 6 to 9 p.m., I'm again going to study. And 10 to 12 in the night, maybe I'm going to watch movies or web series or whatever. Or one specific allotted day in a week where you socialize with other friends of yours, where you don't talk about studies or anything. Just socialize, just like you are meeting them in person, meet them virtually. Meaning set up a schedule, not like that schedule of that Dil Chahta Hai movie that there was one character who was completely a timetable. Not strictly like that, but regularize things. As well as keep an hour or so every alternate day or so, or at least 30 to 60 minutes per day for relaxation activities. And do anything which you like, anything creative. Somebody might like singing, dancing, music, or painting, or some artistic works, or somebody might like physical activities, sports. Swimming is not an option right now, but any other sports activity. You have to keep asking yourself a question every 1 to 2 months. When was the last time you did something for the first time?
I don't know. I made biryani. That was my first, and it came out really nice.
Yeah. So you have to keep trying.
My mind off.
Yeah. So you have to keep learning new things, keep engaging yourself in new things, and spare at least 30 to 60 minutes per day for that. Maintain a healthy lifestyle. It is very difficult, but then maintain a healthy lifestyle. Eat good, sleep well, drink lots of water. Yoga, meditation only if it suits you, because I also know of people who, if they sit for meditation for 10 minutes, they get all the more aggressive. So if it suits you, then it's good. There is no one size fits all. Whatever suits you, whatever relaxes you, go for that.
So from what I gather, the ways, so I was going to ask you कि technology को हम किस तरह से manage कर सकते हैं, but as you said कि हम पॉजिटिवली भी उसे मोल्ड कर सकते हैं एंड नेगेटिव इफेक्ट से उसे अवॉइड भी कर सकते हैं. सो ऐसा नहीं है कि बिल्कुल दूर हो जाओ टीवी या फोन से. यू गेट योर टाइम, बट देन यू हैव टू नो कि कहाँ लिमिट पहुंच रही है.
Devices are for the good also and for the bad also. For the bad because you get addicted to it. You can't leave it for even a minute. Okay, you constantly get addicted to it. Then the good part is, I have seen 75-year-old and 80-year-old ladies, and I mean gents also for that matter. But then I've seen elderly people also getting used to Zoom meetings, WhatsApp video calls. So that is one thing very useful. And the entire scenario, if you see in the long term how it is going to help us, is that we are learning how to cope up with major stressors of life. Matlab, we are going to be, we or maybe our kids, they are going to be like Atmaram Tukaram Bhide of Tarak Mehta के हमारे ज़माने में कोरोना हुआ करता था, हमारे ज़माने में हम ऐसे कोप अप करते थे, हम ये करते थे.
Coping up.
Yeah, so we are learning coping up with things. Last year we adjusted, as you talked about new normal and old normal. Last year we were adapting to new normal. Now we cannot wait for the old normal.
So there have been couple of questions from the live session.
Sure.
The first one is how can we control our thoughts in this panic situation?
I think it was Swami Vivekananda who said that only saints have their mind. I'm not sure about it. Please, I'm I beg for pardon if I am wrong with this quote, but I read it somewhere that only saints can clear their minds off completely of all thoughts. Meaning, the mind is constantly at work. The brain is constantly at work. Even when you sleep, the thoughts are going to continue. Thoughts are not a problem, but when thoughts interfere with your routines, when thoughts start affecting you in a bad way, then it is a problem, and then you have to think back. Then also it is the thoughts only which is going to lead you to realize that you are having some troubles and you should speak about it.
There's another question.
Sure.
It says, which ones are the trigger points to identity, I think, individual, that the edge of mental health has arrived? For the individual to know that the edge of mental health has arrived. So as we talked कि कब हमें पता चलता है कि नहीं अब हम नहीं ही कर पाएंगे, हमें तो थतुं ज નથી, ये क्या रहा है?
Okay. So there was one patient of mine who said that I started crying at 2 a.m. in the night, and I suddenly realized it is morning, the sun is out, and I was still crying. I mean, how can a person cry for around 3-4 hours continuously? So that is something out of your control. This was just an example, but the triggering points would be, I am trying so hard. I did all the things which are usually included in my relaxation routines. I spoke to people, I tried to socialize, I did physical activities, I took a break off, but then nothing seems to help. At the end of the day, I still feel the same thing. I am still not able to sleep. I still get irritable. When somebody, chappal agar ulta pada ho, to I still get equally irritable. Right? So those are the trigger points. And getting extreme negative thoughts about, I don't know whether I should say this or not, but getting thoughts about ending your life, that is just not normal. Right? Those are trigger points which should ring an alarm. Something is now I should at least speak to a family member. If not, directly consult a mental health professional.
Thank you, Dr. Birwa. That was very helpful, and I think it will be very, very beneficial to all the teenagers who are our students and all the teachers, the faculty members, even myself. So thank you for that.
I really hope it could be of any use to anybody. And still, I'd like to add that if anybody wants to connect with me, I am there on all major social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram.
Dr. Birwa Desai.
Yeah, Dr. Birwa Desai Mode or Mental Health Clinic. You can find me over there.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am, for imparting us your invaluable time in this time of crisis. Also, before we end, I would like to thank Paras Education Trust for always boosting us to conduct all these activities. Our beloved Dr. Aditi ma'am Bhatt, she's been motivating us throughout. IQAC coordinator Vaibhav Desai sir for supporting us. Of course, the participants who are there live and the technical team without whom it would not have been possible. Thank you everyone. With that, I would also like to recall the note which has been struck by John Milton in his poem Paradise Lost. He says, mark this, the mind is its own place, and in itself it can make heaven of hell and hell of heaven. So let's stay strong, let's stay positive and make a thriving heaven out of this hellish situation.
Very true, very true.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having
me.
Thank you.
Thank you.